you guys as well and predict the fact that I think TSM will walk with this victory. You can't be sleeping on Vikkstar and Tinny by any means. I mean, they've been facing off against, you could argue, Ninja and Dr. Lupo versus TSM, pretty close game. Noah, Jay, and Avery versus TSM, probably a pretty close game as well. So the fact that this team has taken out both of those squads and now is here in the losers finals, you could argue this is, I think, their first game playing Blitz, however, so it's going to be a little bit of a change-up.
Yeah.
TSM, granted, they just won a very solid game versus the guys in FaZe who are probably, at least in my opinion, best suited for that game mode as well. So a lot of storylines kind of coming into it, but Vikkstar and Tinny, man, they can absolutely pull off an upset. I think it's fair to say. However, I think the standard pick and the one you have to kind of go with right now is the guys from TSM, however.
And yet you called it exactly right. This is their first Blitz. We haven't seen them play Blitz. Who knows if they practice on this, if they've been well-versed in this. But TSM's been playing, at least in a loser bracket, for quite some time throughout this tournament. So you got to be thinking, hey, they're a little bit more well-versed, and they got a little bit better strategy. But already we're seeing a double hit from Myth and Hamlins. They're going to be hitting up Salty. And looking at the other end, it looks like they might be going, what is that? That's retail. So
I think that they're going, at least Tinny's perspective, he's going on the outskirts of
right.
Salty.
You're right.
This is the exact same thing that we've been seeing basically both of these teams do throughout the entire tournament. So pretty standard play for the most part is the TSM guys, even relating back to week 2 when it was Daquan and Hamlin's playing alongside each other. Consistently and always Salty Springs. I think in our last series we saw them go Lonely Lodge just because they didn't really want to get in the mix of a lot of fights, so they ended up going there for once, but just on the outskirts of Salty Springs as well. But this is a very typical strategy. We've been saying, obviously, Vikkstar and Tinny, for a reason, are having a lot of success on this outskirt strats, waiting, trying to getting a little bit of loot, then entering in toward a Salty to kind of find those kills, which you could argue, right? In TSM's position, of course, they're now starting to get into a fight. You know, for that first 30 seconds to a minute, you're basically just kidding up and doing the exact same thing that Vikkstar and Tinny are doing, just finding the loot and then hopping into the fight. But at least, like, off the break, oh my goodness, the nice little impulse into the shots. Looks like Myth, turning into a legend right now, does find the kills in the end and dropping at least one of those enemies. So nice start there coming in from the TSM guys, as they've already got another engagement and both players with a kill right now.
And Vikkstar is going to have full shield coming up soon. Also has impulses. It's really interesting to see these top players use the impulse grenades.
Oh, yeah.
Just we say that.
Because they use them correctly versus us, right? It's like we struggle to use them, so we can see the true potential. But I want to point out, this silenced pistol is very underrated, I feel. It has a lot of damage and can mow players down. And we saw Hamlin's doing that from a distance. Of course, Myth impulsed into it, but it ended up being Hamlin's picking up the kill. But now we're starting to see a lot of fights go down. But with that being said, hey, he's losing a lot of bullets. He doesn't have much bullets. He doesn't have much mats. So at this point, we got to start getting that loot from these players they're killing. Hopefully, he's going to jump down and pick up some extra stuff. But they're together too.
Yeah,
so
Tinny ends up getting involved in one of those fights. I believe it's actually Myth who walks away with the
all the kills.
Yeah, 5 kills.
But one thing that I noticed that kind of through those close range engagements, we didn't see either of the TSM guys use their ARs. They were hardcore using pistols.
Yeah.
Myth was using the gray regular, and we saw Hamlin's actually rock out the I think it was the purple or the purple silence. So kind of an interesting strat. Maybe they just don't feel as comfortable with the ARs at a close range. But regardless,
the pistol's very strong, like you said, and it also has a very high rate of fire. So with the accuracy some of these players have, I mean, if you have a gun with a high rate of fire like that, has a really strong headshot.
Yeah. I mean, we come from FPS titles, all of us. So I mean, we know like how strong certain games can be with the pistols. It's almost like even in Halo, for God's sake. I mean, the pistol's the best gun in the game for the longest time. So
we do see Hamlin's with a purple scar early.
Oh yeah,
that's going to be very advantageous for them.
Is that him and Tinny fighting? Oh, that's okay. I thought that was him and Tinny fighting for the loot, but it's actually him and Myth.
So one thing that gave them at least a jump in kills right now for Myth and Hamlin's is they landed Salty, whereas Vikkstar and Tinny, they did their typical thing, landing on the outskirts, right? So when they came in, they were basically getting the junk kills, or trying to at least get the junk kills, whereas we saw Myth and Hamlin's already had the head start, and they managed to get those huge kills. Ooh. And that right there was a bit of a testy situation. Myth finally did get out of it, and he managed to pick up the kill, but that could have been, when you have someone trapped in a box with you, it's like a caged animal ready to get out. Oh, yeah. It's a lot. It could be scary, because honestly, it just takes one pump that close.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're down.
One pump, and a lot's on the line. It looks like
Vikkstar going for hopefully his
top
first
left,
kill.
And
I think the TSM got the kill.
Yeah, Hamlin steals that one away, so it looks like
playing out of their mind.
Vikkstar and Tinny have yet to get a kill, and we have 9 right now for the TSM boys. 30 kills remain. Of course, a lot more frags to be consistent of, but if you're Vikkstar Tinny, like, you got to be so frustrated, I feel like, right now. Like, you've probably had 3 or 4 different opportunities to find kills, and TSM's always there to steal them away.
And to show you how fast Blitz mode is, we're already at 34 players remaining.
Yeah.
Just such high intensity in these matches, and it makes it really fun for the losers bracket, especially just because you have to put it all out there, so your back's against the wall, lose and go home.
A lot of people might be
wow.
asking.
Oh, my
Beautiful
God.
impulse play.
Impulse into it, plus
gets
the
both.
two-piece. Gets a nice – I mean, that right there is exactly how you're supposed to use impulse, and we see Myth.
Myth is on one right now, man.
Dude, the whole TSM squad is on one. Come on. I mean, they're playing out of their mind, and at this point, Vikkstar and Tinny, do they have kills yet?
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do. And
it looked like Vikkstar was about to get one, and then TSM came right in and swooped
it. And Tinny's trying to go for a kill, but he just got outplayed, at least from the jump.
Yeah.
He got outbuilt, but still, doesn't
Good
matter.
job.
Shot him down, got a kill from the back, and that's going to be the first one.
It's probably like a sweat off the brow situation there for Tinny. Like, thank God I managed to escape from TSM, successfully get a knockdown, and kind of advance myself. But yeah, man, a pretty awkward spot to find yourself in. But thankfully, he's able to escape with one. And Tinny also has another player just in his line sight, goes for the other knockdown as well. So finds 3 kills. A pretty decent recovery, but you also talk about at one point TSM was up at 9 when Tinny was getting those engagements. They're now at 11, so pretty much a trade when it comes down to things.
And looking at the kits, we talked earlier about how he felt about the heavy shotguns and whether or not they were useful. You notice that actually Myth is rocking both of them right now. He's rocking the gold heavy shotgun and the purple heavy shotgun. So I think, again, we talk about how unique this game can be and how unique play styles can be in Fortnite. And a lot of this stuff really does come down to personal preference, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not like the heavy shotgun can't also headshot you and absolutely destroy you, right? So I think it comes down to preference. That's part of what makes this game so fun.
And one thing that I saw to even add on to that, at one point, I think it was our first series, I saw Tfue literally see 2 gold FAMASs and decided to keep the green AR.
More versatile.
Like, okay.
It's more versatile.
Well,
it's his preference, right? So maybe he doesn't feel as confident with the burst rifles. Just as we say that, Vikkstar does go down.
Yeah, Vikkstar, of course, top left, a little bit of a delay on his screen. We'll see exactly how he falls in the situation. Has 2 downs. He's feeling pretty good, feeling pretty confident.
From the back.
You like to imagine, but I believe one player has the jetpack, and I believe it is, unfortunately, a Rust Lord.
He did whiff that last shot.
We'll drop him. We'll see if his teammate Tinny can get to his aid, as I believe.
He's that close.
Yeah, that's actually the TSM guys who are right around him right now. This is Hamlin's, who's just kind of holding hands with Vikkstar right now, saying, "Hey, man, it'll be all over soon."
Yeah, they're currently at 15 kills, guys. I mean, this is absolutely massive compared to the 3. They currently have a 12-kill lead. Now, mind you, the average has been 15 kills for this team, at least leading into the second game, and they're well on pace to make that possible, especially with Vikkstar down. Tinny.
Yeah, Tinny, you got to get to your teammate, man.
I don't know if he's going for it.
And in the blitz mode, guys, you got to keep in mind, kills come so much faster, and so when we talk about different leads in between games, having a big lead when you're playing blitz means so much more because the game's going to end so much faster. You have so much less time to build that deficit back. And so, I mean, if I'm the side of Vikkstar and Tinny, I'm a little worried right now as I'm already down 12. I have a player down. Even when he gets revived, he's got to heal up.
And one thing that I like that I think we're seeing TSM utilize right now here is that they're actually kind of sticking around Vikkstar, like kind of acting as like a shield. So it's like make the enemy think that that's actually my squad mate and try to take him out. So that would be obviously in their best interest. But I believe Tinny, man, I don't think he's going to be able to get to his teammate in time. I don't even see Vikkstar on his screen. Yeah, he's not sitting in the best of situations as Vikkstar as it currently stands. And if we talk about blitz, right, I mean, you can't really be focusing on the objective to try to help up your teammates when frags are coming in such quick succession, but thankfully does get the knockdown. That should be 4 kills in total for his overall play up to this point, and we're receiving some shots to the side. Needs to go off. I mean, this is a big moment, but a fantastic play actually coming in from the opposite player, as it looks like just like that, Hamlin's and Myth are left alone with 15,
and then they're not stopping.
More players.
You just see Hamlin come in, get another kill, shooting at a team right now. TSM is not stopping.
And like I said plenty of times before, this is the situation TSM love to be in, right? They don't have any competition at this point.
I think every team loves to be in
this
situation.
Every team, but specifically TSM. I mean, because they were just in this position before. They were already up 12 kills, and now it's just free reign for the last remaining 8 kills, right? They could go in with close to a 20-point lead.
Which in blitz it can be gone in
Well, you
when
say
I,
that,
when I say be gone, I mean that like saying a 20-kill lead. Next thing you know, you load the map up and you're down to 50 players. There's no one else to shoot at. A 20-kill lead is
it's massive,
enormous.
It's huge. It's more enormous than the normal mode. So I mean, this is scary.
And this was a similar situation to where we saw TSM and FaZe in our very last series. We talked about, I think it was Cloaksy goes out early, Tfue then has to go big. They end up going to Tilted. I think it was Tfue Solo's going to Tilted. He ends up losing in the very first engagement. Like, you really don't know what to expect. So when you look at Vikkstar and Tinny coming into this next match, being down the massive deficit that they're obviously going to have to face off against, let alone having to commit to hopefully having the enemy have a struggle, related to hopefully you having a pretty decent landing off the start. 15. I mean, this is going to be a very difficult lead to try to come back from, and we're talking about 15's a big deal. I mean, they could be down upwards of what, like maybe 20 plus.
It could be 21 at the maximum if they pick up all these kills. And, of course, we do see another fight going down. Myth getting some shots on both of these players. Doesn't get the down, but, of course, they're going to be extremely weak. And he is going to look like he's throwing out some C4 out there. He's going to blow down the remaining Fort over there as he pushes, gets a knock, gets the second.
2 great shotgun plays by Myth.
Phenomenal plays on his part. Of course, he still has plenty of health and shield. This close, you don't want to be healing up. You want to be still getting inside those fights. And as I can see, of course, Hamlin's is going to be right behind him as they're going to be pushing up towards Tomato Town, trying to find the last remaining players. But that's 2. They extended lead now to 17 kills and still 4 more engagements remaining.
And you want to talk about consistency, right? I mean, we see 11 kills here for Myth. There's 9 for Hamlin's. Like, it's not as if like one guy's leading the way. It's not as if, you know, one guy's carrying the load. Both of these guys are playing at the top of their game. And honestly, I'm not even gonna lie in this spot. I think Myth is probably playing some of the best Fortnite that I've seen him play in these Friday Fortnite tournaments. So
100%.
And I think it's fair to say, I mean, you're coming into, you know, what could be a grand final. Of course, we're in the losers finals right now. 1 game separates us from being there. I mean, they're taking these games in a commanding fashion. I mean, it's not as if they're narrowly escaping by. I mean, they are playing at a very high pace. No one is keeping up with them right now. I mean, they got to be on a high horse, it's fair to say.
I'm a little surprised that Myth has now passed up on the gold RPG twice to hold the 1 pack of C4. I feel like usually you need at least like 2 or 3 to maybe, you know, break down a big structure, whereas the gold RPG, I mean, you can absolutely shred through buildings with it. He reloads so fast, shoots so fast.
Look at this, man. Like, what?
Myth's building is magical. He also gets the platforms underneath too.
He gets the
it's
platforms
unbelievable.
Too, which
the platforms and the walls in front. It's incredible.
I think we're going for a jump pad, boys. Let's see if he's going to put it up there and push that in between. He might know where the other people are at. And here we go. We're going in the air. And there it is. So he's gone in.
These poor
blood
people.
In the water.
Target identified.
And he's going to go for it.
Search and destroy.
Can he? Oh, if he gets
this
right
poor
on
guy.
Oh,
this poor guy.
Straight to the dome. Oh no! Whipped a couple of shots, but he's
You'll get him next time.
And he's going to build up. The guy uses a jump pad. Does he shoot him out of the air? He gets.
Oh
my
some
gosh!
fantastic
See you later,
shots
Joshua. Thanks for playing, pal.
Wow.
Then hijacks his jump pad. Add insult to injury.
Oh, and Hamlin's is just literally. Oh, what?
I don't even know.
Myth, I think, just randomly fired a few shots in the air, then happened to just get a headshot on it.
When it rains, it pours.
1 player left.
Shout out. That's a good quote there, Ryan. That's nice there.
Hey, thank you.
1 player left. Let's see. They'll be able to find him. I believe he's. I don't even know. If I was this guy, I'd just be cowering. I would just build a 1x1 and just chill. It'd just be like I'm just 1x1, surround myself with traps, and just be like, I'm done.
I just run in the zone. Just end it. End it early.
Oh, jeez.
Honestly, if I'm in the situation, I'm just like, okay, I see the
guys
guys.
right there.
I'm taking a selfie with myself in front of the screen. Like, hey, there's Hamlin's, there's Myth. I'm about to die. All right, this is great. But yeah, this is going to go their way. I think Myth had 13 when we last went on with him. I mean, 10 plus, double digits for both of these guys. That's crazy. Like that's probably one of the highest kill totals that we've seen from one team
in game 1,
let alone in our losers finals.
Yeah. Well, here we go.
There's the
C4.
1 pack of
Because he
C4.
used the C4, I think he's just trying to get a nice final kill. This guy there, and he's got the C4, but unfortunately not able to get the kill. But of course, Hamlin's comes through and picks it up. And boys, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's 21.
It's 13 and 11, I believe.
24.
Wow.
24.
They eliminated. They eliminated a.
That's 21 kill lead.
2 players eliminated a fourth of the map.
That's a 21 kill lead.
Yeah.
That is a mountain to climb in Blitz.
21 kill lead.
20 kills in Blitz has to be the equivalent to like 30 plus in a regular game.
Well, 15. I mean, come on.
If I'm Vikkstar and Tinny coming into this next game, I'm like, okay, we're gonna get out of Discord. Let's just kind of
that
hone
deficit,
in and
like,
not talk to each other whatsoever. We're hardcore folks.
You need like 4 tilted towers to hit. Like, there's no way you can get that back.
Just to put it in perspective, we saw FaZe 15 kills down. Okay, they couldn't even make that comeback possible,
and
right? So, and those are the best in the game. Now
Yep.
you got Vikkstar and Tinny, a great team, a dark horse of the tournament. I give him that. 21 kills.
Again, if they were in the regular game mode, I would feel there's more of a shred of hope.
A wiggle room.
Right, but in Blitz, everything goes so fast. We blinked, and we're at 50 remaining. We blink, we're at 30 remaining, right? And again, don't forget, the other players shoot each other. It's not like the 2 teams get a full firing range of the other players, right? So, again, that 20-plus kill deficit in this mode is going to be incredibly hard to surpass. If you're Vikkstar and Tinny, you basically need them to land, instantly die, and then you have to go on like a ninja-like rampage like we saw a couple weeks ago.
That's the thing, too. We talked about with TSM's play. They're not known for get it going like Tilted Towers. They're not going for these super high, risk plays. They're known for going salty. They're known for going outskirts. They're known for kind of playing the passive play and then entering in toward the zone quite a bit of the time. It's not going to surprise me whatsoever if we see throughout the rest of tonight's tournament, if TSM can advance on, which it obviously seems like it, if they go Salty Springs every single remaining drop, just because that's what they're known for. It works for them very, very well. So the fact that they're getting in this many engagements, how many did they finish off with? Nearly
24.
20. Okay, so nearly, like I said, a fourth of the entire game, and they start off in Salty Springs? Like, they didn't even go tilted. They didn't even go to one of the highest priority areas of the entire map, and they still finish off with nearly a fourth of the entire lobby dead. Like, that's scary, and that's also a strategy to where it's like, if you're facing off against like a Nick Mercs and Cypher combo, that team's normally going to go to like a Tilted Towers type role. They're known for playing that fast-paced play. This team just dropped probably the highest duo number that we've had in Friday Fortnite by playing somewhat passive.
No,
and that's very scary.
That's ignoring Tilted Towers.
It is the highest, actually. 21 kills going into the second round is the highest. I think maybe 17 was the second highest from what I remember, but 21.
I'm not sure the totals. I just kind of like threw that out there.
No,
I assumed it would be the highest.
21 is by far the highest.
Well, they got 24.
I know Nick and Cypher got a lot more.
Biggest lead. Okay.
But nonetheless, actually, it looks like we might even be in the game. Let's go ahead and get into the game number 2 if we can. I believe they might be in the pregame lobby, but here we are. I am extremely ready for this.
Let's look at the zone here.
21 kills and the zone. Now you do have tilted center, but of course that's not going to be viable. You can't.
Well,
you can't.
It's going to have to be viable for Tinny and Vikkstar. Like that's the option. Like you send one probably there, maybe you send one to Pleasant. Thankfully, if you are in the position of the Vikkstar and Tinny, it's not like Salty's in the mainframe. Granted, it's in a pretty decent spot, but it's not going to be like super highlighted for them. So a lot of the times you'll see TSM kind of go towards Salty or a little bit on the outskirts of Salty and kind of work from there. But that's the strategy that we've seen from Tinny and Vikkstar. Yep. They also go on the outskirts of Salty Springs. They can't do that this time. So to me, who's really sent to Tilted? I mean, obviously take your pick. One of them might be going to, I believe, I think that's Greasy Grove. So they might be. I think they have to split, like straight up.
Yeah, I think you have to send it. I mean, obviously one to Tilted is given. I mean, maybe you send the other one to Salty, but then keep in mind the TSM guys will be there.
Tinny's going Tilted.
Tinny's going to be going Tilted.
Vikkstar most likely going Salty from this drop.
Or do they hit double Tilted and just to do a quick push together? I mean,
they work better together, so it seems, right? We've seen them play together throughout this tournament, and they haven't really split up. So he's passing over Tilted. He's got to be going Salty.
Is Hamlin's maybe going?
Okay. Yeah, he's
going so Fatal Fields?
Vikkstar is definitely not going Tilted. Could that be the worst drop?
No, Vikkstar is going Salty for sure.
It seems
we're seeing Hamlin's going Fatal Fields.
There's two different options. No, I think he's got to be going Salty. Yeah, he's going Salty.
So I think we really need to focus on the bottom left.
Sure.
Though, despite
absolutely.
The drops for everyone right now. Tinny is the main player to be looking out for. If he dies here, you could argue this one's done before it even starts. So big moment for Tinny. He's sent toward Tilted. Can he bring it back? A lot of money on the line. $20,000, in fact, to try to get toward that grand finals position, needing to bring back what is almost an unprecedented lead, as it looks like already from one side, Vikkstar finding one frag, which will be nice to kind of support things, but they're going to need a lot more than that. That's all going to be on the back of Tinny, currently sitting inside of Tilted.
You know, you mentioned it, the money, $20,000 on the line, but specifically for this, whoever loses this has a guaranteed $3,000, but the difference between winning this and losing this is $4,000. Whoever wins it will move on to $7,000. We're seeing now Tinny on your screen gets a nice shot, but takes a lot of damage. He does have a med kit, though, but of course, being in Tilted, it's going to be tough to use that and not have anybody push you.
That's got to be such a very scary situation to be in. Like, I think he hits one guy for like 160 damage, and then the guy just comes back, nearly takes him out totally. So, wow, literally on the cusp of death, but living by a thread.
Looks like he's got a double pump, or not double pump. Excuse me, he has the pump with attack. So looking all right. But look at this, already kills coming in for Hamlin's and Myth. He's sitting at one. I believe Myth is sitting at one himself.
And so while we're talking about how Tinny has to play big, right?
Right.
That coincides with the fact that TSM hopefully dying early. That's the perfect scenario that they have to find. So as long as TSM can hard counter that by going to some place that's not super precedented, a place that's not necessarily going to be in the mainframe, I mean, they're kind of escaping.
He's down. Tinny's down.
Kills.
Oh.
That's
Tinny.
it. That's got to be it.
Fully limb.
Player 637. That's not actually his gamer tag. But,
streamer mode. But Vikkstar, last alive, taking some damage.
Vikkstar's also getting lit up.
But yeah, he's definitely getting lit
coming in.
He's got a player just above him too.
And this is his official reaction, right? He just sees Tinny go down, so now he knows it's all on him. What can he do?
A rocket comes
A
in.
rocket through the window.
Wow, and look at his reaction. I mean, that's got to hurt,
That's
but
funny.
he looks like he's definitely in a
You
good
gotta
mood.
laugh. You gotta laugh at that point,
No,
right?
I mean,
It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
there's nothing more
Wow.
that you can do. I mean, looking at that lead heading into this game,
Yeah.
21.
they know, right? I mean, it's just like it's going to be very difficult. It's almost laughable at that point, right?
You have to come out swinging and then some and then some. I mean, that's such a big deficit.
And we talk about, like, right, you like, to people watching at home, right? You say, okay, well, he's got to go tilted. Okay, well, big deal. He's going to tilted in a permanent 1 versus 4.
Every
Like,
team's going to do the 4 people.
like, we've seen it happen once, and it narrowly happened, which, of course, was Ninja's play in week 2. But, like, you want to talk about the amount of things that went right for Ninja in that situation. Of course, the plays that he made, he was playing at the top of his game, but, like, the ability to make that happen again is just unbelievable. Like, the odds are just so stacked against you. And I was also bringing up as well the TSM guys. Vikkstar and Tinny are relying on them to die. Like, they're relying on them to drop early, because if not, they're going to at least find 5 kills
And they can control that, too. I mean, they can control the fact that they can go land somewhere where they stay alive, right? So that's very smart by them to land somewhere that has a good amount of loot, but obviously you're not going to really get contested too much, especially in a mode like Blitz.
Yeah, man. So that's our finals decided right there.
And so I want to point it out, by the way, this is the second time Hamlin's, at least himself, because the last time he was playing with Daquan, he went up against Typical Gamer and Sword Thief. So this isn't the first time Hamlin's is going against his team. This is the second time, and last time hurt a little bit more because, of course, now we break up the prize pool $10,000, $7,000, and $3,000 respectively. However, last time it was Typical Gamer and Sword Thieves for $20,000. $10,000. They took it all
Whole
home,
shebang.
and they split it 5 and 5. So Hamlin's was that